Good morning, friends. Paul Green here, Comedians Commute. Thursday, April 9th. This morning sucked. So at about 6 a.m., the smoke detectors in my house decided to arouse us from slumber. I'm not exactly sure why, because there was no smoke, so I'm not exactly sure what it was detecting. And it took me and my roommates about 10 minutes to figure out. It's like impossible to turn off a smoke detector. There's no just like, hey, we're not dead. Why don't you go ahead and stop with the noise already? So I don't know really still how we actually got them to turn off. I know there's like the big white button in the middle that you push to test it. And that's like the only thing that you can press on a smoke detector, and you would think that that would have some sort of effect on turning off the smoke detector, but it didn't. I was just sitting there pushing that button. All of ours are connected. We have one of those systems, so if it goes off in the kitchen, it's linked to everyone in the house. So it finally turned off. I don't really know how or what happened. And then it proceeded to go off 2 more times this morning. So, needless to say, I'm a little agitated. And I am not a morning person. I've never actually been a morning person. I'm one of those people who whenever I have to be somewhere in the morning, especially on a consistent basis, which is not typical for me, actually just in the last 4 months since I got a job, this is the first time in a long time that I had to be somewhere every morning at the same time for an extended period of time. So that's kind of new. And but I'm kind of a master at timing my sleeping to where I can get up, get ready, and be wherever I need to be just a few minutes late. That's kind of my MO. Like, all right, every day I need to be at work at 8 a.m. and I got it down to where I'm rolling in to my 8 a.m. morning pretty much every day at 8:02. And that's kind of how I roll. So I'm well beyond that now, because it's 7:30 and I'll be at work probably now in about 10 minutes. And that's just extremely early. Oh, look at another SUV policeman. Can you see that? Oh, you just saw him there to the right. I saw an SUV police car yesterday when I was driving to work on the road right to my work. I don't know why. I guess, probably my YouTube channel got so famous in these last 3 days that they know me and they're tracking me and they want to try to arrest me for distracted driving or something like that. However, I don't know if this constitutes distracted driving. My insurance agent, Rick Morandi, was real uncomfortable that I was doing this, but I don't see how it's any different than mounting a GPS on your dashboard. I got this cool little cell phone stand. That's how my cell phone is able to remain perched so perfectly right above my steering wheel and allows for this beautiful selfie video. So, but anyway, so yeah, got woken up way earlier than I wanted to be, and on top of that, I was playing basketball last night, which I still try to do. I have very little skill set left or stamina or anything like that. I used to be somewhat decent in my heyday, but I showed up right when they were starting, and I got in on the first game, and I didn't really have time to stretch, and about 3 minutes into playing, I totally felt like my hip just get tweaked. And that happens to me from time to time when I play basketball. My hip just does this kind of weird shift thing and hurts like crazy, and then I can barely walk until I get a chiropractor to yank me back in place. And not fun and super sore. And so last night that happened, and so when I woke up this morning, my hip is just completely it's all cramped up, hurts to move. So I had that going on, and then the smoke alarm. So Thursday morning has not been a favorable one for yours truly. Today's going to be a busy day today. I am a consultant for small businesses for a company called Infusionsoft, and so each day I just have a series of phone calls that I make to these customers, and I have a full day schedule today, so I'm going to be making a lot of calls, so I'll be on the phone a lot, and writhing in pain and agitation from lack of sleep, so I got that going for me. But, it's life. Just gotta roll with it. Just gotta let, things happen. Your smoke alarms randomly go off. Maybe they were just overly concerned. They're like, we don't think there's a fire, but just in case, hey, you should wake up at 6 in the morning. Ugh. My gosh. I'm pretty sure like our neighbors could hear those. I bet you we woke up our neighbors 3 times as well. I think the whole block where I live is having a bad morning because our smoke alarms just decided to be a little overly ambitious. I'm sitting there like Googling, why do smoke alarms go off when there's no fire? So I was reading all this stuff like, well, you need to dust your smoke alarms every 3 months. I'm like, really? I live in a bachelor pad. We don't even vacuum once every 3 months. We're lucky if our dishes get done once every 3 months, and I'm supposed to vacuum smoke detectors, which even that wouldn't be that big of a deal. It's just that every smoke detector is in like the most ridiculously hard to reach place in our house. We have like 5 of them, and we have some pretty high ceilings in some places of our home. And one of them is at the top of the stairwell, and it's like 20 feet away, and I have no idea how any of us would be able to even get up there to turn off that smoke alarm, or to, little yet, cleaning it, or dusting it, or vacuuming it. So that is something I'm hoping I won't have to deal with, but chances are I'm going to have to deal with that. But that's been my Thursday morning thus far. How's your Thursday morning? Everything going well? You doing well? I hope so. I am pretty pumped though, because even though today is a really busy day, tomorrow my company, the department of my company, we're all going to Universal Studios, because again, Infusionsoft is awesome, take good care of their employees. So we had a great Q4, and because of that, they are going to take my entire department to Universal Studios. It's going to be one of those like all-day charter bus things. So we're meeting, I believe, at 2 a.m. and going to hop on the bus, Gus, and make a new plan, Stan, and head on over to Universal Studios for the day. And then I believe we hit the bus at 8 p.m. and come back home. So I'm hoping that I can get my hip fixed today. I'm going to try to find chiropractors, but I've learned that chiropractors are only open when I'm working. So I don't really know how that's going to work out, because I hardly have a break today, but there's just no way I'm going to be able to walk around Universal Studios tomorrow with my hip all askew. So I'm going to have to find some way to get over to a chiropractor, and hopefully they'll just yank me back in place and, won't try to pull all kinds of, oh, well, we need to do a 3-point assessment of your health and wellness and do x-rays and tests, and then we can put together a treatment plan for you over the next 6 months. Which I appreciate that chiropractors are doing that. They got to make money and they want to put you on these treatment plans, but I don't need a treatment plan when it comes to chiropractors. I just need you to just give me a few yanks, pop me back in place, get a massage, and then I'm good to go for a while. At least that's been my experience. No offense to chiropractors out there who put together the treatment plans and all of that. I just don't really... I've had 2 different chiropractors over the last couple of years that I went to who wanted to put me on like a treatment plan. Like, it's going to be this much money. One of them would be like, if you pay it all now, and they're like, this is going to take 2 years of, I think, weekly visits or whatever, or a year of weekly visits to get you back in shape, and add that all up, that would typically be $1,500 worth of treatment. But if you buy them all now, then it'll be $1,250 or whatever. And I'm going, okay, why don't you just go ahead and give me a treatment now while I'm hurting, and then if I'm hurting again, I'll come back again when that happens. So why don't we go with that route? So I went with that route. I did that. But then I ended up working with another chiropractor because he's a friend of mine, and he's just much better at when I'm hurting, coming in, takes care of me. And I was actually going to call him this morning, but I didn't want to bug him. I had already been woken up early due to a smoke alarm, and I figured I don't want other people to have to go through what I just went through, being unnecessarily agitated in the morning. So I was courteous, and I did not call him to try to see if he could like sneak me in, because even if he did, he would have had to like been willing to meet me right at 8 a.m. because my first call is at 9 a.m. and his office is kind of far away from my work. So the game plan is to look around to every chiropractor who is within a few miles of my work and just start calling them until I find one who will be willing to meet me this morning, and hopefully I can squeeze it in. So anyway, I know I didn't really get talking to comedy, but that's what's been on my mind. And now I'm at work because I didn't get nearly as much traffic as I'm used to because I left 20 minutes earlier. But nonetheless, this has been your Comedian's Commute. Mostly today was just me venting about askewed hips and smoke alarms, but please subscribe to my channel. Please tune in. comedianscommute.com and paulgreencomedy.com. And I hope your Thursday is started off much better than mine, and that it will not involve askew hips. Have a good one.